Get your jumpers, shirts from 3Air London, Instagram on the screen. Use the discount code SARCHY14 for 10% off.
Mizzy on Mac, HS on deck, no meds, my S bake off with gap, yes.
Yo, SARCHY14 back with another video. Now today's video is just like a general kind of just talk kind of video. Like I did a video similar to this about like the other end of the spectrum about how drill was becoming actually kind of sad in December time. I had 2.6k subs at the time of the video, so like 1.2k views, and I was just talking about drill music's fatal flaw, where pretty much if you talk about what you do, then you can get in trouble through the music. If you talk about things that you don't do, people get onto you, that kind of stuff, and like people dying and that, and it was just making me really sad. But the other end of the spectrum, because it's not always doom and gloom. Right now is a very, very good time for UK drill music, you know. I mean, this week we had Mizzle Mac coming back with Return of the Mac. Some people didn't like it, some people just want drill music. Drill music is coming from Mizzle Mac. I can confirm that. Blanco posted it on his Snap and his Twitter saying Mizzle Mac just recorded something mad. I'll put the screenshot up on the screen right now. So there's that, there's Mizzle Mac back. Digga D randomly came out as well like a couple weeks ago. Hasn't released any music as of yet, but again, a lot of people consider him to be the best. Shout out Limit if you're watching this. Also, AM and Skengdo, they're in junction. I don't know if you lot remember this, but back in 2017, I think, either 17 or 18, when AM dropped Attempted, that very, very big song where he's just blatantly saying people's names. When they performed that, the police were like, no, we're not having this, because you're just inciting violence. You're naming people, you're naming and shaming people, like that's gonna incite violence. So the police were like, look, from now on, you're not allowed to make drill music. You can't make violent music. That's why you've seen AM kind of like adventuring into other genres, like when he made the song Tug. I was rating that song as well. But like, that's not drill. But still, I think the music he's been releasing has been calm. 3+4 was a very, very good song. And Crash X GBG were very, very good verses from them, AM Skengdo. And also, they released a whole album, not Talk About Smoke, but that was my favourite song on the album.
Might pull up on my J's, in my J's. No ifs or maybes, hits got baby, man pull up with that tray.
Back Like We Never Left. That album was cold. So, I don't know if the injunction's like a big enough excuse. I've got so many things to talk about. I'm talking about how drill, this is a very good time for drill, but also who's the king of drill. So we'll get onto that part in the second part of this video. Anyway, but that injunction that AM and Skengdo were hit with, this year it expires. So they're allowed to go back to making songs like Crash, songs like that from back in the day. Remember What Do You Mean? Like serious songs, No Lotion. I can go on for ages, but I'm not trying to waffle for too long, because I know me. I start talking about something, I'll go off on a tangent. So point is, we're going to be getting songs like that again from AM and Skengdo, because their injunction's finished. Also, V9, KO, Unknown T, all from Homerton. We've got songs with Unknown T and KO like Anana Ting. We've got songs with Unknown T and V9, like the one on V9's album. I forgot what it's called, but it's one of my favourite songs. And then we've got songs with V9 and KO, like Andy and Dwight. And right now, like there's songs, each of them, there's 3 of them, but we've never had all 3 on a track together. Well, I shouted V9 on Twitter, because Drill Reddit, someone on Drill Reddit had enough. They were like, nah, I've had enough. These Homerton man, they're mocking it right now. And he made some massive post about it, saying how, when are we going to get a song with all 3? Well, V9, I think V9 made it clear it's coming at some point this year. There's something that the drill scene, ever since Nana Ting dropped, personally, I was like, look, Nana Ting's cold. Then I heard Andy and Dwight. I'm like, hold up. If he's doing a song with him, and he's doing a song with him, and he's doing a song with him, why didn't they just all make a song together? Well, it looks like that's going to happen this year. So the drill scene's been waiting, and it looks like our questions are finally going to get answered this year. So that's something else to look forward to. And other people like T-Way, Millions, Fizzler, Golly, I could go on for ages, Ispot, bare new people to the scene. They're all here, releasing music every single week, Sunday, Thursday, every single week, Press Play, or whether it's Press Play, whether it's GRM, every single Thursday and Sunday. Like, you should have known this by now, but if you haven't clocked, every Sunday and Thursday from, I'd say, from like 5 to 8 p.m, expect music, like new drill music. Also, my personal favourite rapper, if it's not Miz, then it's PS. He's back in October, according to BK. But according to a couple sources I've heard, he's coming back end of the year at least, but I've heard October. So that's happening as well. Like, I've just got so much to talk about. I'm just in a very, very good mood. And other rappers that are out right now, because with drill music's problem, they all get bagged because the life they live is crazy, and sometimes they actually self-snitch in songs. Remember Bobby Shmurda? That's not drill. But you have to be careful what you're saying in music, because the feds are watching. Trident are watching. They're waiting for these guys to slip up, and sometimes they do. But right now, there's a lot of rappers out right now, and I made a list. Right now, we got M24, Lowski, Dutchavelli, E1, Blanco, Bando K, Double L's, Abracadabra, Heady One, RV, Nito MB, Coinface, and so many more. Maysky from Moscow. Moscow just came back as well. Something I haven't even written down. But Moscow just came back. Like, the drill scene, all the stars are aligning. It's looking like this is going to be a very, very big year for drill. And that puts me on to the second part of the video, what I wanted to talk about. Who is the king of drill? Because I titled the video yesterday. That video is doing crazy. The Mizomat reaction is on like 7k views in less than 24 hours. That is crazy. For my channel, that's astronomical numbers. But I was talking to 8 Puncher about this, and I was like, look, when you deep it, Mizomat has been gone for 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. Over 1,000 days. This guy hasn't been releasing drill music, yeah? And yet, over these last 3 years, you ask anyone who's the best in drill, 7 out of 10 people will tell you Mizomat. Now, with me, that's a little bit of a problem. How can someone be gone for 3 years, and in that time, no one else has really, like, universally made their name the top of the genre? When I say universally, I mean someone who's actually, everyone will collectively agree that, yeah, no, this guy, he's up there as well. But no, I mean, I hear PS's name, and I put PS's name forward as the best. But, and I hear a couple people as well. I hear Digger, shout out Limit again if you're still watching. I had Digger. I don't hear anyone saying AM. I hear CB. With CB isn't a rapper that drills. He's a driller that raps. He is drill. Like, he's literally like, if the word drill could talk, it would sound like CB. But I'm trying my best not to waffle, because I know I like to waffle a little. Point is, it's been 3 years, and yet there's still someone who hasn't released music over that course. It's still people saying he's the best. So with me, that's like, why hasn't anyone actually been able to take his crown like that? I mean, PS has been gone simultaneously with Mizomat as well, so that's not really his fault. He's been in and out of jail. He was gone for 2 years, then he came back for a couple months, then he was back in again. So that's not really his fault in terms of like actually being able to produce enough music to change people's minds. Also with PS, people heard his new voice and they weren't feeling it. But in my opinion, he's really some of the best drill freestyles we've had in the short time he was out. The Block's Hot freestyle was cold. His Man About Bars, the original version on the BK beat, was disgusting. And his Voice of the Streets, the first thing he released when he came back, if you haven't heard that, that, like, when I say PS is the best, just go listen to that Voice of the Streets and I wouldn't even need to argue for him anymore. Anyway, that's PS's argument. With AM and Skendo, like, with me, The Injunction, they've still been releasing some very good music, so I don't see how The Injunction is enough of an excuse to not have completely taken over the genre. I mean, they're in everyone's top 10. If they're not in your top 5, AM at least. If he's not in your top 5, I don't really know what you're doing making a top 5, but he's in most people's top 5. And I'm thinking he's got some of the most legendary, iconic verses the genre's ever seen. Some of the most iconic songs with Crash, No Lotion, his Mad About Bars. Like, there hasn't really been an excuse for him to not take over the scene. I mean, other people like Heady One as well goes kind of unappreciated. I mean, the things he's actually contributed, countless tapes, Music and Road, there were a couple drill tracks on that. Drillers and Trappers 2, fam, this is my Puma top. Fam, I've got a hoodie for Drillers and Trappers because of how legendary that album was, Drillers and Trappers 2. Also, shout out RV as well. He's released tapes as well. So, when I'm still hearing Mizomat as universally the best in drill, when he's been gone for 3 years, that's saying something. That's saying something. I mean, there's 2 ways to interpret that. Either he is that good that no one's been able to reach his level in 3 years, or the other argument, no one's actually been making good music for the last 3 years, which we all know that's not the case. So the fact that this guy that's held to such a high standard is back this is a very good time for drill music. That's all I'm saying. This is a very, very good time. And as a reactor to drill music, I'm very excited. I mean, I saw my numbers last night for Mizzlemac's first song back. People weren't even really liking that. There were mixed opinions on the song. And the video's on over 7,000 views in one night. Like, that's how big of an impact this guy has. One of the bars in the song, he was like, I'm a guy who made drill rap relevant. Wow. About that, and I was thinking about it this morning. Sticks from 150 made the first ever drill song with It's Crackin', I believe. Yeah, It's Crackin'. LD and 6-7 helped to make drill popular, as in they grew the sound. But to be fair to Mizzlemac, and I have to give him credit for this, and the fact that people are still saying he's the king of drill, and the reason they say he's the king is the fact that he made everyone love drill. Like, even if you're not really into drill, like, there's girls out there that listen to Harlem because Harlem was doing more for them than their parents were doing at the time. Every single drill track, Chocolate Darling, Caramel Darling, every single track, I saw it on Twitter for a long period of time. You type in Mizzlemap on Twitter and you go to top, the first thing that came up was one girl, thousands of likes on her tweet. She was like, some of you guys only started liking us black girls, us dark skins, when Mizzlemac started calling us Chocolate Darling. So he's even impacted their lives. These girls, he's impacted their lives. This guy has a very, very big impact on the culture, and he's back. And he's releasing music, and even when people aren't even feeling his music, it's number 3 on trending. Like, I don't think people are deep in their levels of this. In fact, I've had to make a whole video I've made a reaction video. The video's doing numbers. I've made a whole second video just talking about the fact that he's back, because it is that much of a big deal. It is a very, very big deal. I'm sure I don't even need to explain that to you guys, but I just wanted to talk. I just like talking to the camera. That's why I do YouTube, because I like talking a lot. And no one could tell me to shut up. I mean, you could be sat there behind your screen saying, shut up, but I can't hear that. So, I've said my piece. Just be very excited for drill. That's what I'm saying. Just be very, very excited. This is a very, very, very big year for drill. Anyway, I've been Saatchi. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. I'll be back again soon.